Christmas this year brings a different kind of happiness for Jungkook. As a soldier undergoing military service, he had prepared himself to celebrate Christmas simply at the camp with his fellow soldiers. However, there was a big surprise waiting for him, something he had never imagined before. Since morning, the camp had been warmer than usual. The snow that had fallen overnight covered the ground with a beautiful layer of white. Jungkook, as usual, woke up early to help out in the camp kitchen. He savored every moment of this Christmas away from home, comforting himself by thinking of memories with his family. While stirring the warm soup that was part of the Christmas lunch menu, he sang softly to his favorite Christmas carols. However, unbeknownst to her, a big surprise was in store for her family. His mom, dad, and older brother had been planning something special since early December. The realization that Jungkook would have to celebrate Christmas away from home made them want to give him an unforgettable memory. Eagerly, they contacted the military to request special permission to visit the camp where Jungkook was serving. The process wasn't easy, given the strict rules in place, but Jungkook's family didn't give up. Jungkook's father, who is known to be a stern but loving figure, had a direct discussion with the camp commander, explaining his family's intention to visit their son who was serving his country. The commander, himself a father, understood the desire and granted special permission, albeit with a number of protocols to adhere to. Once permission was granted, Jungkook's family began to carefully prepare everything. Jungkook's mother, with great enthusiasm, led the food preparation. She wanted to bring a taste of home to the military camp, so that Jungkook and his comrades could feel a bit of family warmth. She started making a list of Jungkook's favorite foods, such as the signature spiced roast chicken, seaweed soup that was usually served on special days, and traditional Korean cakes like tteok, rice cakes, that were always a must-have snack at Christmas. Although she cooks in large quantities, she does it with love, imagining Jungkook's happy smile when he tastes the food. Jungkook's older brother was also busy helping out. He bought small gifts that could be distributed to the soldiers in the camp. The gifts were simple, like warm scarves, thick socks, and chocolate candies, but were chosen with care. "I want them all to feel appreciated, just like Jungkook," he said as he wrapped the gifts in brightly colored paper. The day of departure arrived. They left home early in the morning, carrying large suitcases filled with food, gifts, and even some extra Christmas decorations. The journey to the military camp was a long one, through snow-covered roads and desolate forests. Even so, the Jungkook family's spirits were not dampened. Jungkook's mom kept checking the food in the boxes, making sure everything remained in good condition. "I don't want Jungkook to feel anything less than a taste of home," she said with a gentle smile. When they arrived at the camp gate, it was quiet. Snow was falling slowly, adding to the beauty of the scenery around them. A soldier on guard greeted them kindly and guided them to the main barracks. Inside, the camp commander was waiting with a warm smile. "Welcome. We are honored to be part of this surprise," he said, shaking hands with Jungkook's father. Meanwhile, on the other side of the camp, Jungkook was completely unaware of his family's arrival. He was busy helping put up Christmas decorations in the dining hall with his colleagues. He was satisfied with the results of their hard work, although there was still a bit of longing in his heart. In his heart, he hoped that his family would also celebrate Christmas happily, even without him. When the family was finally brought into the dining room, the atmosphere immediately changed. Jungkook, who was hanging ornaments on the small Christmas tree, turned his head when he heard footsteps. He froze for a moment when he saw his mother, father, and brother standing at the door. His eyes widened, as if he couldn't believe what he was seeing. "Jungkook," his mother exclaimed in a loving voice, opening her arms wide. Jungkook put down the ornament he was holding and ran to his family. He hugged them tightly, tears starting to run down his cheeks. "Is this real? Are you really here?" he said in a trembling voice. "Yes, son. We couldn't possibly let you celebrate Christmas alone," his father replied, patting his shoulder gently. Jungkook's fellow soldiers, who were surprised at first, were now smiling at the touching moment. They began clapping, warmly welcoming Jungkook's family. Some even joked, "Jungkook, We now know where you got that amazing spirit from. From your family, huh? After that emotional moment, the atmosphere became more cheerful. Jungkook's family began to share the food they had brought, while Jungkook proudly introduced them to every corner of the camp. He showed them the small decorated Christmas tree, the handmade ornaments, and the painting of Santa Claus on the wall of the barracks. We all worked hard for this. What do you think? He asked with a big smile. His mother nodded, tears in her eyes. It's beautiful, Jungkook. You really brought the Christmas spirit here. That night, the camp dining hall turned into a place of warmth and happiness. Jungkook's family sat with the soldiers, sharing stories, laughter, and food. The mother helped serve hot soup, while the father chatted with the camp commander. Jungkook's older brother helped distribute small gifts to all the soldiers, which were gratefully received. As the night wore on, Jungkook picked up his guitar and started playing Christmas carols. His melodious voice filled the room, creating a peaceful atmosphere that touched everyone's hearts. The soldiers sang along, while his family looked at him with pride. At the end of the night, Jungkook's family sat outside the barracks with Jungkook, looking up at the stars shining brightly in the sky. Thank you for coming. This is the best Christmas I've ever had, Jungkook said sincerely. We also feel blessed to be able to celebrate Christmas with you, son, his mother replied, clasping his hand. It was a Christmas that Jungkook will never forget. The surprise from his family brought him immense happiness, reminding him that even if he was far away from home, the love of family could always reach out no matter where he was. As noon approached, Jungkook was with his colleagues in the dining room, helping to put up the final decorations. Suddenly, the sound of a door opening caught everyone's attention. When Jungkook turned around, he was transfixed. There stood his family with big smiles, complete with heavy coats and scarves to combat the cold. The day turned into a much more special Christmas celebration. Jungkook's family brought great warmth to the camp. They sat together in the dining room, sharing stories and laughter. His mom immediately took over the kitchen, cooking some special dishes with the help of the soldiers. Meanwhile, his father chatted with the camp commander, thanking him for the permission. His older brother, who has always been a role model for Jungkook, chatted with Jungkook's colleagues, praising their hard work and dedication. Jungkook couldn't stop smiling. He felt like he was back in his childhood, when he and his family always celebrated Christmas together. He introduced his family to every corner of the camp, showing them the small Christmas tree he had decorated with his colleagues, as well as the painting of Santa Claus on the barracks wall that he had made himself. This is our teamwork, Jungkook said proudly, pointing to the painting. As evening approached, the atmosphere grew warmer. Jungkook picked up his guitar and invited his family and friends to gather around the Christmas tree. He started playing their favorite Christmas songs, while his family sang along. Jungkook's melodious voice blended with the laughter and singing of others, creating a moment that is hard to forget. Not only that, but his family also brought small gifts to share. Jungkook's mother wrapped some Christmas snacks and trinkets, which she distributed to the soldiers. Thank you for taking care of Jungkook, she said, smiling at them. As the night wore on, Jungkook sat outside the barracks with his family, looking up at the stars shining in the sky. It was quiet, with only the sound of slowly falling snow. Thank you for coming, Jungkook said in a low voice, his eyes teary. We couldn't have spent Christmas without you, his mother replied, holding his hand tightly. That Christmas became one of the most memorable moments in Jungkook's life. The presence of his family in the midst of his military duty reminded him that the warmth of Christmas is not just about the place or the decorations, but about love and togetherness. For Jungkook, this year's Christmas was a priceless gift, a reminder that family is always home, no matter where he is.